Our series on the Walton College continues today outside of one of the most well-known local businesses in Northwest Arkansas, Walker Brothers, where they make you look good. Inside, we're going to find the owner, John Walker Cole, and he's also a longtime professor at the Walton College. He's not a history teacher, but he is a bit of a Renaissance man. Let's step into class. Welcome into the Fayetteville location of Walker Brothers. I am here now with Professor John W. Cole.
Heavy on the professor stuff, Aaron. Oh, yeah.
But thanks so much for giving us time in your store. A lot of history behind not only this store, but in your kind of lineage in Arkansas.
I was very blessed to have two amazing grandparents that were in the retail business starting in 1903. They ran that store until the late 60s. It was dry goods. Okay. Everything from blue jeans to shoes to fabrics, you name it, they had it. Then when I went to graduate school, one of my favorite teachers, who just happened to be my father-in-law, asked us to do was what was called a feasibility study. And it was simulating a business on paper. And we simulated a men's clothing store. And it looked like it would work. So the next thing you know, we opened our first store on the Fayetteville Square in 1977. We were successful on the square, but what we realized was that Northwest Arkansas was becoming Northwest Arkansas. We felt like we needed to have a presence a little bit further north. So we partnered with three terrific, really exceptional partners, and we've been here ever since. One of the things that we did when we moved to this part of town was to change the name of the store. We went from the store being in my name, John W. Cole, to Walker Brothers. My grandparents had three Walker Brothers stores at one time, and they were very sincere, very specific about how they served people. At the time, my grandmother was about a week away from passing away. I went in to go visit with her. And I said, Mama, I'd like to talk to you about something that means a lot to me. I would like to change the name of my store to the family name and call it Walker Brothers. And I said, would I have your blessing to do that? And she looks up at me and says, honey, are you going to run a good business? And I said, well, yes, ma'am, I am. And she said, well, give me some time to think about this. And then, thankfully, she called me back in the next day, and she pointed to the chair and she said, honey, sit down. I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, now I want you to really think about this. Are you going to run a good business? And I said, well, yes, ma'am, I am. And she said, well, then you have my blessing to change the name. She made it a point to impress upon me how valuable it was to serve others.
When you finished high school, there was no question about where to go to school. You go to the U of A, your father played football at the U of A. Yep. Just talk about some of the history with just the state and the university.
Graduated from Fayetteville High School, went to the university, ultimately got my undergraduate and graduate degrees there. And Dad was one of those guys that never missed a football game because he played, and he was absolutely Arkansas. All of our family is. So now, as you fast forward to where we are currently, they're all here in Northwest Arkansas. We have our three amazing sons, beautiful daughters-in-law, and now 9 grandchildren, and they're all here. So we're very blessed.
I tell you, John, you got a unique double threat situation going on because small business owner, successful with building relationships within Northwest Arkansas, but you've got this whole other part of your life, the Sam Walton School of Business. Where did that start, and where's your passion for teaching young people come from?
My grandfather taught school and Sunday school, and I learned from him at an early age. After the store had been open for about 10 years, I called my friend that was the department chair of the marketing department and asked if they needed help because I really felt like I wanted to teach. Followed up with him a couple of times, didn't hear back from him. Then on a Friday afternoon, I get a phone call. I just had a guy quit. We have a class that has 30 students in it, and we need a teacher for Monday morning. Are you available?
On a Friday?
On a Friday. And I said, of course, I'd love to do it. And he said, I'll be down in 15 minutes. I'll bring you the book and the lesson plan. He shows up in my office 15 minutes later, and the book was about 700 pages long.
Like a phone book.
He looked at it and looked at me and said, here you go. And he left. That's when I started teaching, but what I learned was that it is one of the most fun gigs that anybody can have. One of the greatest gifts that you get as a teacher is 3 years after someone graduates, you get an email or a phone call from a student saying, I remember something you said in class one day, and it really helped me, and I'm grateful for that. It is truly a blessing to have been able to be in that role as long as I have.
You know, at the Walton College, but you guys tend to lean on the acronym EPIC, and I was curious about that.
It is a rallying cry for all of us, and it's much like our mission statement here in our store is serve well, and it lets everybody know, remind you every day what we're here for. The EPIC tagline in the Walton College reminds us every day to serve our students well. It truly is epic, and it's as good as it gets.
When you step foot in this store, all you see is some unbelievable options when it comes to your clothing. When someone comes in and they leave with a tailor suit or a new set of threads and they look good, they feel good, they go out and they accomplish more, and that's something you provide.
You said it, and one of the things that we strive to do every day is earn someone's trust, and when they walk out of here, we want them to feel confident in what they bought, confident in how they look, and that they know that they can trust what we help them with. We help people get what they want.